Hello guys, how you going? This is Jace here, and we've got an awesome summer recipe for you to come this afternoon, and it's all about seafood. So we're going to do some beautiful tomato mussels and then an oven baked snapper. Of course, using fresh seafood from Sydney seafood markets. We went down there after an epic day at the beach. It was so beautiful, 40 degrees plus here in Sydney. So let's get to it. So in this big cast iron pan, which I love to use, it's starting to get preheated. So what we'll do really first is just fry off on medium heat some of our onions, and we're going to start to brown those. So the reason I love to cook seafood so much is because it's so lean. If you cook it the right way without creamy sauces, it's just perfect. So what we're going to do to get this started is to fry off some onions. Now, as they're frying off, what I'm going to do is add, I reckon, about maybe 2 teaspoons of garlic, just to really get our breath smelling well. So add in that garlic. Jesus, I love garlic so much. And it's really simple. Just spread it through. You don't want your onions to burn, so make sure you're cooking on about a medium heat. Out here in the wind on my balcony, I'm at risk of it, a flame blowing out, so I'll just have to keep an eye on that guy underneath. Okay, so I'll talk you through the ingredients that we've got. We've got a big bag of what looks like around 25 black mussels, which are beautiful. They're pot ready, so they've actually been debearded and cleaned up already, so that's ideal. As well, what we're going to do, we've got some salt, we've got some pepper, I've got a few bits of chili and some coriander just to flavour on the top, and most importantly, some diced tomatoes. These ones are like 80 cents a can, so they're just so cheap, and that's really all you need to use this dish. So as our onions are coming along really well, and this dish probably takes around about maybe 15 minutes maximum to actually cook up. And the coolest thing about it is that it's so cheap. So your mussels, you're looking at about 12, 13 bucks a bag, and then the rest of the ingredients don't amount to much more than about $7 or $8. So you get the entire meal, and it looks proper deluxe for literally 20 bucks for 2 people. So that's heaps. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so our onions are starting to soften up really nicely. And I'll tell you what, if you guys could smell this, damn beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in with some of our diced tomatoes. Now it really depends on how many mussels you've got. You can add 1 or maybe 2. I'm going to go in with 2 because I've got a fair few mussels here to get through. And also, I love the taste. I love my mussels to be nice and soupy. As you can see, it's really starting to steam. I'm guessing you guys probably can't see in from there. Check this out. So it's really simple, and I love cooking with cast iron. This is my favourite pot, this one. It's so bloody beautiful, it's so heavy. I love watching the missus try and use this one. I get to see bicep flexing at the same time. Now what we're also going to do is go in with, I don't know, around say 2/3 of a cup of white wine. And people say that you should use really cheap white wine. I don't know. This isn't particularly expensive, but I'm also having a glass at the same time. So yeah, feel free to use the wine you want. Don't necessarily go cheap. So let's call it a splash. Yeah, look. There we go. After all, it is a Sunday, right? So what we're going to do is just wait until that actually starts to, I guess, just simmer up a little bit, and then we're going to add in our mussels and we're going to continue on from there. Alright guys, how we doing? So check this out. I want to show you quickly how everything is going. Look at this. Our tomato sauce is starting to simmer. Remember, that was really simple. It was just made up of some lightly fried onions in some olive oil, some garlic, and just a couple of cans of diced tomatoes, super cheap. So what we're going to do now is we've got our debearded mussels. We're going to go in there now that it's boiling. And you know what? These guys don't take too long to cook. So we're going to stir these through. Can you come in and get a little bit of a look at this? It looks so good. It looks so good. Okay, now we're going to top that with So we've got some pink Himalayan salt, just enough to kind of give it a bit of a flavour. We don't want too much in there. And I really, really love pepper, so some crushed black pepper. Let's get it in there. I'll tell you what, this is going to be the best. We've spent all day at the beach, and so I'll tell you what, we've worked up a hunger. This is going to be a mess. So check this out. Here's what's going on at my place. Whoop, there we go. Look at that. It's looking nice, hey? Now this will take, I reckon, about 3 to 4 minutes. So I'm going to put the lid on this and get moving on our fish. So we're just going to leave that and just stir it occasionally. Now, I want to do something else and show you guys how simple it is to do a whole fish at home. A lot of people are daunted by this, so I just want to show you really, really how simple it is. So check this out. See if you can zoom in on this. Is that in the way? So what you got here is a fresh baby snapper, again, taken from the seafood market. It's really, really simple, and it's only going to take around about 20 to 30 minutes baking in the oven. One of the key features, so it's all been cleaned, obviously for free for us. So what we want to do is we want to catch a couple of pieces of tin foil, and we want to make some serration marks in the flesh, just to let all of our flavours stay in. Now the nice bit about fish, especially whole fish, is it's pretty hard really to do anything to actually mess it up. So don't be scared. Once you've actually chosen your fish, it's a piece of piss, to be honest. So there we go, 4 or 5 slits in it. Now I've just run out of olive oil. A lot of people would use butter, but to give it a bit of an Asian flair, what I'm going to use is some sesame oil. I really like cooking with sesame oil just because it gives it a totally different taste. So let's go in with some sesame oil. Not too much, and rub it in and make sure you get into those cracks. Okay, make sure to get into those cracks on both sides. Okay, so sesame oil. Just have a quick look at this. Oh, mussels are coming along so well. All of them are starting to open up now as well. Okay, so what I like to do now is open up the guts of your fish and stuff it with a bunch of fresh veggies. It doesn't really matter what they are, you can choose anything and everything. So go in with some capsicum, go in with some red onions. Again, there's nothing you can do to mess this up. Go in with some fresh baby tomatoes. I've got the tomato medley. Okay, now on the top, of course, we're going to do the old salt and pepper trick. It's that easy. Do you want to get a look in here? What? How good is that looking? It's really, really that simple. Okay, and then what we do again is take any leftovers that we've got and just throw them on the top. That is pretty much all I do. Once it's actually ready and prepared like this, you want to shoo the flies out first, and then make sure you wrap your fish in as tightly as you possibly can to try and keep all that heat inside, so when you put it in the oven to bake, it goes for good. So here we go. I'm going to add a couple more layers around the outside, but it's really that simple. That's our meal done. 20 minutes in the bakehouse, and boom, you're going to come back and you're going to see the healthiest, most delicious meal you could possibly know. All right, guys, so we are back, and we've been cooking for, what do you reckon now? Probably less than 10 minutes, I reckon. It's getting exciting. Under this lid is an absolute beast of a dish, and I can't wait to show you guys. But really importantly, why would you actually eat this meal? Well, firstly, you get some really good micronutrients, particularly minerals like selenium, that actually are really, really beneficial, particularly for men. But one of the biggest ones is there's a micronutrient called lycopene that's found in tomatoes, particularly cooked tomatoes, which really, really helps with prevention of cardiovascular diseases and cancer, which are massive, massive killers of men. So not only is this dish tasty, sexy, it'll make you look like a wicked chef, but additionally, it's super, super healthy. Let's go under the lid, shall we? Let's go under the lid. Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited. Check this out. Here's what's doing. Here is what's doing. So as you can see, the majority of our mussels are now opened and cooked up. It only takes 5 or 6 minutes to actually do them. And how are you going to look when you open up this for your partner and he or she sees this. Check this out. So, I'm going to try not to spill, so it's a little bit more attractive. I reckon that's about enough in each one. Oh man, this is looking so good. Now, have you got any bread? Have we got any bread inside? I hope so, because I'm going to get some of that really crusty wholemeal bread and use that as the dipper to go with this. Check this out. You can go fresh parsley or coriander. There it is, a little dip on top of prettiness. Now the most important ingredient, I know some of you will disagree, is chili. You can put it into the broth first or you can flick it on top. I'm just going to do it on one of these because my lovely missus is petrified of chili. Check that out for a Sunday afternoon feed. Who's excited? Who's pumped? Come around because I've still got another half a bowl left and it's really only me and one other person to eat it with. So yeah, I'll be back next with some live baked fish to finish off shortly after I've eaten this. See you guys. Bye bye. Oh, check the website, jstewart.com. Good. Alright, so about, 25 minutes ago, I promised you guys something beautiful. And what it basically constituted was taking a whole fish, putting some slits in it, rubbing it in some sesame oil and stuffing it with veggies and then jamming it in the oven. That's it. That's how simple it is. Let's see what the result turned out to be. Cool. So I haven't actually opened this up yet. It's been in the it's been in the oven at about 180, 200 degrees for say 20 minutes. I put a covering piece of foil plus the one that we originally wrapped the fish in. So let's peel it apart gradually and let's see what we have. Oh my God. I thought Christmas was about 2 weeks ago. No siree. Check that out. I was going to transfer it to a plate, but I don't think there's any need. You guys have a zoom in on this. So, there we have it. Oven baked snapper stuffed with random vegetables and of course garnished with some coriander or fresh parsley, whatever you prefer, and some lemon juice squeeze. And we have a saying here in Australia saying Bob's your uncle. Well, here's to you, Uncle Bob. Check that out. Good night.